Here, have a little bet. Hey, I'm Obi. That said, we are drinking from the Garden Hose, your favorite podcast about nothing. Get us wherever you get podcasts, Spotify, Google, Apple. We're there. Also on the little platforms. Go, like, subscribe. Don't forget to check out our very active webpage, gardenhose.vercel. Hey, how are you?
Obi, I'm another year older. That's how I am.
I saw that. I even wished you a happy birthday. You're getting up there in age. You cleared 50 easily. We're starting to count down to 60.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we're counting the countdown yet, but yes, getting older. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, Obi, because when you get older, some interesting things happen. One, I think it gets harder to tell the age of like your colleagues. Like, when you're younger, and you're in high school or middle school, it's pretty clear who's older and who's younger, and oh, that kid's 2 years older. And by the way, at that point, 2 years is like light years, right?
Right.
And then you get older, and then you're like playing around a golf with a bunch of guys, and then you start talking about age, and you realize the guy who you thought was your age or was older than you is like 2 years younger than you, and you're like, how the hell did that happen? So I don't know. Do you have a problem with that, like telling other people's age now that you're 50?
Yes. Absolutely. Happens all the time in sword fighting over in the Kendo club.
Your sword looks very young.
All the time. Like, so I know there's a core group of guys. I shouldn't say core. There are three dudes who are all within 6 months of each other, me included. So we're like the bottom of the 50 age group. And then there's like 3 or 4 guys who are above us. Everyone who's lower than us, who's under 50 and over 25, I don't know how old they are. And I've asked them several times. I don't know. I can't even remember. It's not even that you can't tell. You can't remember. All you can do is like, this one's got kids. This one's got kids in preschool. This one's got kids in high school. That's how old they are. Your kids in high school age. Your kid. But that doesn't even work because like I see friends who are on Facebook who I went to high school with, and their oldest is just entering middle school. I'm like, just entering middle school. My God, you're 50. Your kid's just entering middle school. I feel for you.
Yeah, they got a long road ahead of them. I mean, one of the texts I got for my birthday was from, or maybe it wasn't a text. I got a call. So first of all, I got a call from Finland on my birthday.
Okay. One worth answering, not a
Yeah, it was worth answering. My parents, so they were on vacation and they were in Finland, and they called me from Finland, and which was interesting. So I never got a call from Finland on my birthday before, so that was kind of cool. But the other thing that my mom likes to drop in there is like when I was your age. Like I think we all do that when I was your age, but when she drops that, like it really like is like dropping a bomb. So this year's when I was your age was when I was your age, Sam was just born. And I'm thinking, holy shit, you were a grandma when you were my age. I'm not ready to be a grandpa for a lot of different reasons.
That's a harsh one. When I was your age, you were giving birth. Like,
well, I didn't give birth, but yes,
right,
I understand what you're saying.
With all due respect, you were not.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yes, so that was a little bombshell. And so then but you see people, I don't know. I just think everyone's older than me. I don't know why I think that. And then I find out that they're younger than me and I'm like blown away. So, but I do have this whole age hierarchy. Like you're like, you don't know what age people are. I clearly know they're my daughter's age. So they're 20, right? So I either got 20-year-olds, then I'm going to go 30-year-olds, 40-year-old, and then you're older than me. That's where or you're my age, right? So that's how I gauge it. And then what helps me gauge it is like pop culture references and the blank stares I get when I make those references. Like, so if I talk about Beverly Hills 90210 and they give me a blank stare, they're definitely under 40, right? And then we can narrow it down from there. But that's how I figure it out.
I do that. I do have that at work. So I work with a guy who's I think 60, like right at that 60-year-old cusp. And then everyone else on my team is younger than me. I don't know how much younger. Like I feel like some of them it's their first job out of college. My boss, I know he's about 5 years younger than me, give or take. But like we'll have that conversation like right in front. We'll start talking about things that nobody else on the call has heard of. The thing is, we're the only two who talk on the call anyway, so it doesn't matter that they're giving us blank stares the first 5 minutes. They don't talk anyway. We're like, well, we'll fine. We'll talk about old people stuff.
And here's how I know people are my age. I talk about Seinfeld, and if they start quoting Seinfeld, I know they're my age. That's simple.
That's a good one, but I would say that you're getting some 40-year-olds in there. You are getting some 40-year-olds in there.
You get some 40 and you get some 6-year-olds too, but it's obvious the 60-year-olds. I mean, by the way, for those of you listening that are in your 60s, I know damn well you're in your 60s. It's not like I'm confused. It's obvious. Sorry. So, Obi, so here's the other thing about age that I've been thinking about. And because as all of our listeners know, we prepare meticulously for this episode. And so I've been spending the last week and a half since our last episode thinking about this. And why is it, seriously, this is a serious question. I played a round of golf yesterday. I had a golf outing for work. And why is it that all we could talk about was how nice the weather was? Like every conversation I had was, well, great day. Oh, yeah, don't get a better day than this. Oh, who ordered the weather today? It's a great day. Like, Obi, do you find that like all you talk about with people is the weather when it's a nice day or when it's a shitty day, right? We all bitch about the weather when it's shitty too.
So yes, but I don't think that's an age thing. I think that's the state of the world thing. That nobody wants to talk about anything because they're afraid the conversation, like I don't know you. You might take this conversation off the rail, and all of a sudden, somebody on the other side of the political aisle from me is ranting about their world. It's like, oh no, just the sun is nice. Just the sun is nice. I'm over here on this thing. I don't want to talk to you about that thing. I think a lot of it is just we're fearful how quickly the conversation can go there. Like I think that's it. Not listen. I have a one of my.
By the way, I think you're right. I completely misread that, but you're absolutely right. The reason we talk about the weather is because it's so vanilla.
Yeah.
We can't argue about the weather. Like you're not going to complain that today was a beautiful day. It was obviously a beautiful day.
Yeah, right. Look, no, but I mean, listen. This is we talk about knowing these guys. I have been in Cumdo with these guys for the better part of.
Wait. It just hit me. Sword fighting is called come go.
No, not go, do or kendo. So now we're gonna have to.
Where's the come? Where'd you get up? Come with the come.
Come means sword. It means the way of the sword.
Oh, of course it means sword. Of course it does.
But anyway, I've been friends with these guys for the better part of 6 years, and one of the guys. The guy who I'm probably closest with, or one of the top 2 or 3 guys, accidentally sent me a text during the debate. Fortunately, he thought he was texting one of his family members. We're on the same side. But that was the first time we have discussed politics, driving back and forth. Like we drive together a lot. We've driven to Baltimore 3 hours together. First time we've mentioned politics. And fortunately, he agreed with me, so we were able to have a full-blown conversation. But yeah, people want to stay vanilla so we can remain friends because we get worked up about things, like we get. Listen, even here, I'm not even saying like I said the same. Listen, it's just not what we want to talk about. We want to talk about the weather. We want to talk about old. We want to fight about whether vinyl is a good thing or not. That's an acceptable argument.
Or if the Giants should have carried an extra kicker on Sunday instead of, scoring 3 touchdowns and still losing the game, right?
That's another good one. That's what sports are great for men, by the way. So we could.
So that was a safe conversation. You're absolutely right. We went from the weather to how about those Giants? Was that stupid or not? Right? Like that's safe. Like no one's gonna like
lose their mind.
Yeah, no one's gonna become the crazy uncle over that conversation, right? Like
right.
We can all get behind that. Yeah, and no one feels like guilty. No one has to look around and you're like, oh, I was listening to the radio and they said this. Right? Like sports radio is safe to talk about. You're allowed to quote like the person. You're allowed to give source. Yeah, that is an interesting point. So here's the other thing about old age. I did a deep dive here. Plus I'm old.
Hurt your back.
So Obi, I'm not sure if you're there yet, but and I've said this before, but it's so true. Everything hurts. And then when you get another guy who's willing to go there with you, like they'll admit, yeah, everything hurts. And then like so we were talking about the weather on the course, and then we were talking about the doctor's appointments we recently had about our knees.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen, even my brother who hasn't quite hit that 50 threshold, we talk about how everything hurts. I mean, he's close, obviously, to just I think next year, whenever it's coming. I'd have to figure out how old I am, but yeah. Now we play the frisbee golf because we're not cool enough to play with metal, and we're not rich enough to play, there. So we play the free frisbee golf. But yeah, the whole time we only could play 9 holes of frisbee golf because I hurt my neck the night before. How? Because the pillow was too high. Like,
I was gonna say you don't. I was gonna say, do you even know how you hurt your neck? You just woke up and shit hurts, right?
Yeah. I,
So I had a conversation that I don't think I was equipped to have like even 10 years ago. So the gentleman's telling me he went to the doctor because his knee hurt, and the doctor was telling him, took x-rays. I had the same thing. And the doctor's telling me he thinks it's a little bit of the gout, right? And I'm like, gout? There's no way the gout. I have a buddy who has the gout, and that's his toe. Dude, like your knee doesn't hurt from that. Your freaking toe swells up. Like I'm giving him medical advice because I'm old. Like our younger listeners have no idea what the gout is.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Not yet. But
Well,
I don't know how many of it.
keep eating steak and drinking beer, you're gonna find out
Yeah,
what it is.
I wonder how many of our listeners are younger. Like, here we go. I just found out about a listener we had. Okay, and he would qualify as younger when I was younger. So weird story. I get a WhatsApp message from some guy saying, "Hey, now we've talked about where I used to go on vacation as a kid, gone a couple of times. Still as an adult, my family still goes all the time. Hey, I was in the cabin and I found this book, and your name's written in the book, and it looks like a log of your hikes or somebody's hikes." And I'm like, yeah, work it out. And
I hope it was heights. I hope it was feet and not inches, whatever was in this book.
It was like hikes in the Adirondack. Yeah, I don't even know because it wasn't my book, but it was my parents' book, and I hook them up with my parents who are still up there. They get together, and turns out he's a listener of the show, eh, which is awesome.
Is he replicant?
No, I don't think he's replicant. I think
damn.
If he's replicant, maybe he'll let us know now. We did a show on Trout Lake, and he must have listened then and decided I'm going to keep listening. So yeah, so that shout out to him. No names given. We'll call him the Trout Lake guy. And if he's replicant, he could tell us he's the Trout Lake guy. But it was great to get a listen. Now, when I knew him, he was younger. Like he would come up and hang out with my brother's friends. He told my parents, I was part of the younger crowd. Dude, you're 3 years younger. You're smelling 50. You're not, right? Like you're not younger anymore. But like you said, when I was 15, man, you were a kid.
Oh, 15. You couldn't hang out with a 12-year-old when you're 15. And when you were 20, you weren't hanging out with 17-year-olds either.
No.
But here's the interesting thing. And when you were 21, you weren't hanging out with 18-year-olds because they couldn't get into the bar. But so here's the thing about it. So he's 3 years younger. So he's at this age now that karma is going to come back in a major way because he's listening to this right now going, shit don't hurt when I get out of bed anymore. And I don't know, it's not going to happen to me, or I can see fine. The whole thing about readers, right? We did an episode on that a long time ago. I can see fine. I don't need glasses. And then one day, it doesn't even happen slowly. Just one day you realize you can't see shit and everything hurts.
Listen. I went from no readers to 2 in like a year. Like a 2, I'm gonna have to be like Ed and my wife soon. Gonna go get the prescription ones so I can keep them on all the time and have the bifocals because they're on more than they're off now.
Oh, and I'm the guy that has them all over the house. I was like, all right, I'm only gonna get one pair and only use that one pair. Now I got them everywhere. I got one in the dining room, I got one in the living room, got one by the bed, I got a pair in my car, and then I got it because I'm still vain enough that I'm not wearing them around because I got a pair that folds up into like a little pocket thing that can fit in your wallet. So that I take that to the restaurant.
Right. No, listen, I got I got a pair in my work bag because if my computer bag, if I get to work without a pair of glasses, I'm in trouble. I have two offices right now because of the whole Sammy thing. There's two pair in each of those offices. There's the pair with the string, which I'm wearing now and wear most of the time. And then in my sunglass case, there's another like 6 or 7 pairs because end up getting, I'm a slob. So I take them like, oh, I don't have one in my pair. I know there's pairs in sunglasses. And then I leave them wherever throughout my house where I was on my phone, had to take it off to watch the TV. And I think that's the worst part of glasses, by the way, is the phone. Look
Yes.
down at the phone, look up at the TV, and you got to figure out how to
Yes.
handle the glasses that way.
Yes. Like really old people never had that problem. So like if you're in the 80, if you're 80 or 90, you have no idea what we're talking about because all you had to worry about was watching TV. Actually, maybe I mean it was black and white TV probably, but you didn't have to worry about the phone. We have to look at our phone and then look up at the TV. It's like an impossible task with readers.
It's crazy. It is crazy how hard that is, and that we put ourselves through it because yeah, we all have a phone and a TV at the same time. Like we need both.
Right. And basically my HD TV is blurry because I still have my glasses. I pay like my TV now looks like it looked like when I was 15 years old because
I'm wearing my
blurry.
readers. Yeah. And I need the readers to read because I'm deaf and I can't hear what's on TV anyway. So I'm reading in my TV and it's blurry.
See, my eyes are good enough that I can actually read what's on the TV and I can watch the TV fine because it's far enough away. I'm like, you talk about like you get within 2 feet of somebody, like the snake is deadly within 2 feet because they can get you. Like that's where I'm deadly. Within 2 feet, I can't see shit. After that, I'm like, expert. See, so here's something else on the eyesight. So I was talking again. This is what old people do. I was talking to this woman. I was at a work function, and we were just talking about certain things, and inevitably we got to old age. I guess maybe I'm fascinated by it, and we started talking about readers and all that crap, and we came to contacts. And she had an interesting theory, Obi. I'm wondering what your theory is, and our listeners. She said that men get really, because I was talking about how I don't like wearing my glasses, etc. She goes, yeah, and I bet you don't like wearing contacts either, because men have a problem putting things near their eyes where women are used to putting eyeliner and stuff. So women are much better at wearing contacts. What do you think about that?
I have definitely heard that about older men. Obviously, those of us who are listening who have been wearing glasses since they were young, a lot of men are wear contacts all the time because they started when they were kids and they learned to do it. But I do know I had a friend who had disposable contacts in his 20s, and he got the disposable ones because unlike the other ones, like the non-disposable, he had to take them in and out every day, and he hated putting things. He hated glasses. He wanted the disposable ones, and he would wear them literally till his eye bled. They would turn bloodshot. Take them out, wear his glasses for 2 days, and then go another month or two with his disposable ones.
Wow.
Yeah. Or he's a listener, so maybe he can correct me on the exact details of the story because that was 30 years ago. But you know who you are. He wears disposables until they hurt his eye because he didn't. But I don't remember if it was because he didn't like putting them in as a rule. But yeah, I've definitely heard that all about guys.
Yeah, because I know for a fact I couldn't wear contacts. Thank God I'm not at that point where I have to wear glasses. Actually, I wish I just had to wear glasses 100% of the time now because of that whole thing we were talking about before, taking them on and off and remembering them. But so I could never wear glasses. So I just thought that was interesting that this theory was that women are used to doing eye makeup, so they're really used to putting things near their eyes. I'm not used to using eye makeup, so maybe that's why I can't wear contacts.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting theory. One that it's most interesting because it's like I am not so vain that I'm not going to do this enough till I get used to it. It's like I'd rather just wear the glasses than do this because I'm not so vain that I can't wear glasses. Oh, that's because everyone my age wears glasses.
Yeah, so speaking of vain, so I'm getting over the glasses. I'm wearing them right now. So clearly I wear them more often than I don't. So I've gotten over that vain part. But getting back to everything hurts in my knee, doctor's appointment. So now I've been wearing like those like compression braces on my knees.
Okay.
because
All
my knees
right.
feel better when I'm wearing those.
All
But
right.
I look like the typical dude wearing like, although I don't wear jean shorts, but wearing jean shorts with knee braces and white Nikes. Like that's who I am now with the phone and the phone clip on my belt. Like, so I don't wear them like out in public. Just wear them around the house.
Did you wear them to play golf?
I wore only one. I should have wore two, but I'm like, that's a bridge too far to wear both. So both knees are bad, but one's worse than the other. So I wore the compression sock on the bad, or the brace on the bad one. Yeah. And that's just how I got talking to the guy with the gout, or with the doc. He's like, I should have wore mine today. That's how it all came up. So it became a discussion topic.
Yeah, as
But
well it should.
not one lady said sexy. Not
No,
one.
not one. Not one.
Guys talked to me about it, but not one lady brought it up.
It's okay. It's okay. I mean, someday you'll have the back one on too, wrapped around your belly, and then the elbow
But
one.
that's at least covered by your shirt if you have the back one on, right? The
Yeah.
knee one people can see.
Or you could just wear long pants.
Yeah, so now I got to go to physical therapy for a freaking knee problem. This is ridiculous.
You're getting old.
I
You
know.
know. Is
At
it
what
one or
point,
is it one or two?
one or two what? Knees?
50s. 151 and 52.
52, which is why it's two knees. I think when I was 51, it was only one knee that hurt.
Yeah, but the good news is you're a decade away from being able to collect Social Security.
I know, I'm taking it right away too. Because
All
I
right.
did the math. Like because you got to live into your 70s before like you lose the game, right? And I'm like, at that point, I'll just be happy to still be alive, so I won't be pissed that I lost the game,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
right?
Yeah, I guess. I always look at it that when I'm 62, they can fire me and I won't care. Like that's my thought. Like I think I'm gonna go 67, 68, depending upon when I become a grandparent. Like that's the only reason my dad stopped. Literally, my mom said, both of my children have children and they live in South Jersey. I'm moving to South Jersey. You are paying for a house in South Jersey because I'm moving there. You can come and live with me, or you can stay here and work, whatever you want. And my dad retired.
So I think the podcast might have just jumped the shark because we just talked about becoming grandparents. Or
Not
you
yet.
did. I should say you did. You did. I
I
have not gone there yet. You just said you're
well,
going to work until you become a grandparent.
I'm much closer than you are, Ed. I may be 2 years younger than you, but my son don't live in my house anymore. He's got a job now. He has
Oh, and
his
he's with
own
those
health
new
insurance.
he's with those New York City girls now.
Yeah, he's with the New York City women. Yes, yes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, the
He's gonna
professional
bring
women
home
who never want to have, I shouldn't say that.
he's gonna bring home a city girl. He's gonna bring home a city girl. You're right. You're screwed. You're gonna be a grandpa. You might be a grandpa the same time my mother was a grandma, 52. You never know.
Don't put that voodoo on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't put that.
No voodoo. I don't have a voodoo doll of you.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. But it is conceivable. It would be surprising. But yeah, I mean, like at any moment he could bring home the next girl that he would be bring home, I would assume is like, 50-50, at least a 50% chance that that's the girl who's going to be the mother of one of my grandchildren. Yeah.
Where do you get this math from? 50-50. I hope he listens to this episode. So he's got a 50-50 chance of knocking up the next girl he brings home. Is that how you do math?
My son bringing home a girl is a major milestone in a relationship for him. So if he were to cross that milestone, yeah. The only way I could imagine him bringing home a girl for me to meet and her not becoming the mother of my grandchildren would be that they have chosen not to have children. That is how secretive he is with the introduction of his female friends. Like we know they exist.
So you're really going down the road. The only way you're going to meet a girl is because she's already going to be pregnant.
Not already, but marriage is been discussed.
Yeah, we definitely jumped the shark now. I can already see the poll question for this week's episode. Like, does Obi have his math right? And or I just want to know what other people's kids' math is. Like, I'm not even going. There's a 0% chance. I'm going to tell you that right now in my household. 0% chance any of this shit's going to happen. But I wonder what other people are thinking. If you have a kid and they bring home the next partner, what are the chances that's going to be your mother, your son-in-law, or your daughter-in-law?
Yeah,
I want to know.
And I think look, it's different for every kid based on their age and who they are. But he is a secretive. Listen, I'm not supposed to be talking about him on this podcast, and all I do. By the way, everybody wants him, who I talk to, who claims not to be replicant, for him to be replicant. They like the idea of one of my children making fun of me in secret, and they think that, you know, he's a replicant of me. It's a really cool name. Like everybody wants it to be one of my kids.
Well, I'm quite certain he's going to out himself this week if he is replicant. He's not going to be able to bite his tongue. We're going to figure it out.
Okay. Yeah. I wish this replicant person at least give us some clues. You know, play along with us. You're listening to the podcast, you're posting, and you're like, I'm just torturing these two old fucks. That's what he's doing. Or she. Replicant could be a woman.
Could be.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. We shouldn't beg, though, because then the replicant will think that we actually care. We don't really care. We're just putting this out there so people can be entertained.
Yeah, no, yes, it is entertaining. And yeah, I think I care. I think, you know, part of me is like, I might be disappointed once I find out who it is. Like, oh, now we can't talk about who Replicant is because we know. Takes the
You're
fun
right.
out.
It's better that we don't know, unless, of course, your son outs himself this week.
Telling me there's like a 90, if he has, like, listen, I introduced you to a girl, you with 90% chance we get married. I've already proposed, Dad.
I don't think that's how he's going to out himself, but that's all right. We'll find out.
Right. Okay. Is there anything else we want to talk about? I almost jumped into the sucks thing, but you know.
No, I think it sucks. I think this ending sucks right now.
And the charm is that we suck. I'm Obi. That's Ed. Catch us in a couple of weeks on Drinking from the Garden Hose.